Let me feel your. Let me feel your love. Let me feel your love. Let me feel your love. Tell me what you feel, my love.
start to set up your space, your equipment. We're going to get started here in about the next 30 seconds to a minute. All right. Welcome back, Pump. What is it? Quarter 2, session 2. If you've been here with us the whole time, nice job. Thank you. If this is your first time in this class, in person or online, thanks so much for being here. Our first class is a little different from the normal routines that we'll get into. Today we have a little bit of just a real short education up front. You should have got an email from me if you registered for the class as far as a video series to watch. That's going to talk a lot more in depth about the stuff we're just going to do a quick recap on. But if you're in person here, I'll always have the equipment you need up on the board as well as the movements that we have for the class underneath of it. Over time, you'll start to kind of realize what those are and hopefully be able to read my handwriting as you see it more and more often. If you're with us online, you can check down under the video you're watching right now, and I'll always have in the description the equipment you need, the movements we have, and everything as far as what will entail in the class, okay? Format of the pump classes is we have a 6-minute warm-up. I'll go over all the movements we have too before we start, so don't worry about that. And then the workout for this class is 4 rounds total. Okay, each round is going to consist of 2 movements that will superset 4 times. What that looks like is we'll do movement 1 for 30 seconds, right into movement 2 for 30 seconds. That's 1 set, and we'll just repeat it. Movement 1 for 30 seconds, movement 2 for 30 seconds. That's the second set. We do 4 sets. That equals 1 round, and then you'll get a 1-minute rest period before we move on to round 2. Okay, and at the end we'll have a cool down stretch routine before we send you out on your way. So, super quick bracing education. We want to make sure we're braced so we're not getting injured. A lot of times our body's really efficient at conserving energy, which is basically just being lazy while we're standing around and doing things. So if you're not intentional about bracing, a lot of times you'll see hyperextension of the knees, hips pop forward, shoulders kind of slump, head out in front. I'm exaggerating it. You probably don't necessarily see people complete standing like that. But when you're in that brace position, that kind of holds you and makes it so that you're able to actually have your stabilizers, those small muscles in your body, engaged so that impact of weight, jumps, whatever we do, isn't going into that joint, okay? It's focusing on strengthening the muscle and not damaging the joint. So we'll do a real quick. Go and take your normal stance. Wrist facing forward. First step of bracing, squeeze the glutes. This is leveling out the pelvis. Next, we're lifting that pelvic floor bladder up into your stomach. You'll feel a tight pull in right above kind of that belt line, okay? Next piece, tighten that core around that lifted pelvic floor, okay? That bladder. Shoulder blades slightly back and down. Head up in that neutral position. From here, as long as you're keeping that brace position, you can release those glutes a bit and then take a few steps. That's a fully braced position you're in right now, and then release it all. That slump, that drop, that's going from being braced to not being braced, okay? So we really want to be intentional about that braced posture, especially when we're working out because there's a higher susceptibility to injury when we're doing a lot of things like this, okay? You do want to try to keep that bracing throughout your entire day, only about a 2 out of 10 intensity though, so there's a slight lift up, pull and hold in all those areas, okay? As you're exercising, you'll hold it a bit stronger, okay, just because you're going to have a lot of different things resisting the movement that you're doing. Jumping, weight, etc. Any questions real quick on bracing? Okay, If you do have any, make sure you check out that link that I sent in the email, okay, that has like a full 4-session course on it that goes over that. Today, just because we have a little bit extra things we talk about, we only do 3 rounds in the first class of any session, okay? So today, we won't have 4, we'll just have 3. Movements we have today. First movement is going to be goblet squat. Still braced? Oh, so braced, so braced. The most braced, actually. So, goblet squat. This one, and anything that's weighted, if you're new to the class, it's always optional. You don't have to use weight. You can always do body weight options. You can change anything if something hurts. Let me know if it does too. But just so you know, you have that freedom to switch it up. Goblet squat, basically you're having a weight, cupping the palms together, holding onto that weight, okay? Still in that brace position. When we're going into that squat, pushing those hips back and down, knees stay in line with those toes, weights even on those feet, okay? And then coming back up out of that squat, keeping those glutes active the whole time. We don't want our quads doing all that work, all right? So with those goblet squats, basically just holding that weight here and then repping out those, okay? Remember, it's 30 seconds of reps, so feel free to find a tempo that you can sustain. You can always pick it up, slow it down, but just be aware of that. Next movement we have is going to be this one. There's 2 movements put together. It's up to you if you want to break them apart, just do one, just do the other, or mix them together. So first one is RDL, Romanian deadlift. This is focusing on glutes, okay? So we're just going to be up, brace position. Our glutes are active. We're going to push those hips back, okay? Loading the glutes. Drop that chest till you kind of feel that stretch, wherever that might be for you. Keep the shoulder blades back and down, okay? We don't want those shoulders rounding, okay? Once you're here, keep those glutes engaged, push those hips forward, flex the glutes, squeeze the scapula together, and then you're going back down, okay? That's the RDL. Bent over row, we're doing low row today. So when you're in the low position, you're pulling those elbows back and up, okay? Squeezing those scapula together, pulling through your lats, which your lats are the muscles here on the side of your torso. So everybody go ahead and put your hands up overhead, shoulder blades are back and down. Pull the elbows and keep those shoulder blades back. Now pull them back down to the side and then pull the elbows down into your body. Like you can kind of feel that muscle in there, maybe squeezing a little bit, okay? Or you can put your hands here and push against your quads. It's another way to activate those lats. That's that muscle you're looking for, okay? One last one is if you pull up into that bent over row position, squeeze your elbows into your side. You'll feel that muscle basically kind of under the armpit, a little bit further onto the back. That's that muscle you're really trying to pull with on those, okay? So with that, it's up to you. You can just stick straight RDLs. You can do just straight bent over row, or you can create your own superset with those. So you could do one RDL into a row, then come back out of it. You could do one RDL, do 3 rows. It's totally up to you how you want to mix that up, okay? If you're at home for that one, and the first one, feel free to do regular, and you don't have weight, feel free to do regular squats or jump squats. And for the second one, feel free to just work on that movement, okay? So the RDL movement, really focus on those glutes being engaged. And then you can also do a static hold of a bent over row. Next one we got, lunge with press. The press is optional, only if you want that. You don't have to have weight for a press. But basically, when we're lunging, you can step forward or back. If you ever find knee pain in the front of that knee, try stepping backwards. A lot of times it means your weight's too far forward on your toes. You're not shifting that weight back onto the heels as much as you need to, okay? So we're lunging down. If you have weight, you're just kind of holding in front, 2 weights or single weight. And as you step up, just pressing overhead, lunging down on that opposite side, coming up, adding a press at the top. Next movement we got is elevated T-squeeze, lightweight or no weight for these. Basically, we're doing like a partial hip hinge, so we're staying a little bit elevated. Shoulder blades stay back and down, thumbs are up, and we're going to squeeze through the scapula, okay? The scapula is what's doing that pull in the center of the back, lifting those arms, all right? And then lastly, we have rotating power planks. So we'll go ahead and drop down onto our mats real quick. We'll go through this one together real quick just to make sure we're fully activated in it. So 4 low power planks. We'll start in just normal, face down on the mat, elbows are down. Tuck your toes underneath, okay? So from here, once we lift up, we're braced still. Now what I want you to think of doing, squeeze the elbows to the feet, feet to the elbows. So you're actively using that core to almost think of trying to pull the floor together, pull those elbows in. You'll start to feel the body shake a little bit. That's that core actively engaging, not just your arms and shoulders holding you in that position, okay? So we'll hold that position for 30 seconds, then we'll switch. into a side plank. Same thing, actively squeezing through the side, through the obliques. And then we'll roll onto our back, okay? So on the reverse plank, heels are into the ground, elbows are into the ground. We're not using our head, but then we're just trying to press and lift ourselves up off the ground as far as we can. And then same thing on the other side. Side plank, roll back to front plank, okay? We'll just rotate those till we finish those 4 minutes at the end for a core workout. Any questions? If you're online, drop them in the chat. I'll run over them and check them right as we start class. But any questions about any of those movements? All right, let's do it. It's going to feel so good to move, y'all. It's been so long. Excitement. All right, jumping jacks. Remember, we're staying braced, controlled. If you want to lower that impact to start, you can be right here. We're only about 40-50% to start with the warm-up. We're not overly pushing it. We're just kind of getting the body moving, waking up the muscles. Air squats. So here we're pushing those hips back and down. Knees are staying in line with those toes. Weight is even on those feet, front to back, left to right. We're still braced. Knees are in line with those toes. Good job. Keep those feet strong, arches strong into the ground. And keep those glutes on. Marches. We're driving that knee up in front. Trying to think of actively using that core, crunching that core on each knee drive. Still brace. Lunges alternating. That foot stays strong into the ground. Keep that glute on that front leg. Stay braced. Good job. Arm circles. Try to keep that chest squared. We don't want a lot of rotation. Work through that range of motion of the shoulder, warming it up. Reverse. Inchworms into those push-ups. If you haven't done this before, don't bend the low back. We're gonna bend the knees. Walk out into a plank. Push up. You can do a few if you want for a little bit more upper body warm up. And you're gonna walk back up into a downward dog. Stretch out through the top. And walk back down. And do some more of those push ups. Jumping jacks. Round 2 of the warm up. This is where we start to pick up that tempo. Maybe closer to 60-70% effort. Starting to move a bit quicker. Remember, stay braced. Air squats. We're picking up that tempo. We're still maintaining control. Not bouncing at the bottom. Not locking those knees at the top. Keep those glutes on. Weight even on the feet. Good job. Those glutes should be active the whole time. Marches. Same thing, we're picking up that tempo. We're still controlling the movement with the core. We're still braced. Lunges. You can add a little bit of twist, a little bit of thoracic rotation if you like. Twisting towards the side of the knee that's in front. Left knee's out in front, twisting to the left, back to center. Keep that bracing. Arm circles. Reverse. Inchworms into those push-ups. Don't round that low back, bend those knees. Take a break. Woo! Who's ready to move? Almost there. 1 minute rest. And we're into the workout. First movement, Goblet Squat into the RDL and or bent over row. It's up to you. You can do one or the other, or you can superset them, your own ratio. With those RDLs, main focus is working those glutes. Don't let those glutes disengage. Keep them on the whole time. If you reach a point and it feels like your glutes shut off, don't go any further. Just go through that active range of motion where you can keep that glute active. All right, in 5, 3, 2, 1. Let's go. RDL and that bent over row. Or no, yeah, sorry. Goblet squat. It's been 2 weeks, all right? I can't remember. Remember, this is the first class back after a break. If you've been consistently training, feel free to push it. If you haven't been, you take it a little slow today. Work your way back into it. RDL into that bent over row. Keep that glute on. Weights even on those feet. Goblet squat. First set done, y'all. Keep that quality. Still braced. Keep those glutes on. Knee in line with the toe. RDL, bent over row. Keep those glutes on.
Give me some of that, everybody. Go.
Goblet squat. Still braced. Those glutes are on. And we're focused on controlling that movement. Muscles active the whole time. Don't let them rest. That glute shouldn't be taking a second off. RDL, bent over row. Goblet squat. Last set. Keep that quality. You need to slow down the tempo. Slow it down. But keep that good movement. Stay braced. Weight even on those feet. RDL, bent over row. You get a rest after this. Take a break. Nice work, y'all. First set of the new session done. We got that lunge with the optional press, totally optional, into those elevated T squeezes. First one back is always a toughie. I'm dying. 30 seconds. Remember, a little bit of movement can help that recovery. Yeah, right. No, the warm-up hit's different, you know. Haven't moved all day potentially and then get in there. All right. In 5, good quality with those lunges. 3, 2, 1. Let's go. Arches strong into the floor. Don't let that knee cave in. Keep that glute on. Weights on the front leg. Nice. Elevated T squeezes, weighted or unweighted. That hip hinge, just a slight hip hinge. Shoulder blades backing down, thumbs are up. Squeeze those scapulas together. That scapula, the center of the back, is what we want doing that movement. Up into those traps as well is fine with the elevated. But pay attention, right on the sides of that spinal cord. Feel those muscles engage. Lunges. Keep that arch strong into the floor. Weight even on that front leg. That glutes on. We're braced. Strong and balanced. No wobble here. Elevated T squeezes. Feel the majority of the pull coming from that inner back. Lunges with press. Halfway through, y'all. Stay braced. When you're pressing overhead, you're still keeping those scapula back and down. We're not shrugging. Elevated T squeeze. Scapula back and down, that chest stays up. Feel free to hold that top position for a second before you come back down. Control. Same speed up, same speed down. Lunges. Last set, y'all. Make them good. Quality stays at 100%. You just slow it down if you need. Don't let that knee cave. Don't let that arch cave. T squeezes. Last one. Chest up, scapula back and down. Same speed up, same speed down. Hold that squeeze at the top. Don't lose that brace. Take a break. Woo. Nice work. All right. We got the power plank rotation up next. Really focus on actively engaging that core, crunching that core together. Don't just hold yourself in a plank. Actively engage the muscles for the plank. This is great, right? Finally moving again, feeling good. We got 20 seconds and we're into that power plank. In 5, 3, 2, 1, let's go. We're in that front center power plank. Squeeze those glutes. Pull that core in. We're braced, pelvic floor is up and in. And then crunch those elbows to those feet. Squeeze, squeeze, keep those glutes on. Whole body's flexed here. Side plank, rolling over into a side position. Same thing, squeezing that elbow down to those feet. Feet pulling up to the elbows. If you need to take breaks, feel free. If you need a little assistance, that top leg can step out in front and kind of help support you. Or you can bend that bottom knee. Onto the back. Woo. Elbows down into the floor. We're not pushing into the ground with our head. Remember, just our heels, our shoulders, our elbows. Get up. Squeeze those glutes, push. Stay braced. Really push those elbows into the ground. Get that bottom off the ground. Bottom. Stay braced, stay braced. Side plank, opposite side. Yeah. Elbow to feet, feet to elbows, crunch that core. Pelvic floor's up and in, squeeze those glutes. Feel free to touch those obliques if you want. Are they active? Front plank, halfway through, one round left. I mean 3/4, or 3/4. Squeeze those glutes. Pelvic floor up and in. Abs on. Crunch those elbows to feet. Feet to elbow. Let's go, let's go. You can always drop to your knees if you need, but if you're doing good, let's go. Stay with it. Side plank. Let's go. Squeeze those obliques. Glutes are on. Scapular engaged. Reverse plank. Heels down, elbows into the ground. Squeeze those scapula. Lift. Pelvic floor up and in. No, you don't have to be off the ground. You're just pushing in the ground as hard as you can. If you get off the ground, great. If not, that's okay. Push, push, push. Squeeze those glutes. Side plank. Last one, y'all. Let's go. Squeeze those glutes, pelvic floor up and in. Crush those obliques. Scapula retracted and engaged. Stay with it. Take a break. Woo, Nelly. Nice work, y'all. 3 rounds done. First class done. Time for the cool down. My peeps are home. Nice work. My peeps in class. Nice work. Nice job, y'all. Nice job, yo. Nice job today. Muhammad, nice work. Nice job. Nice job. Nice work. As you're cleaning up, if you see any black streaks on the ground from your weights, we'll help out facilities, clean those up with our wipes. And as you're slowly cleaning up your space, we're gonna start to slow that breathing down. Focusing on trying to breathe in through the nose, down into the belly, exhaling out through the mouth. Nice work today, y'all. First class. Done. Nice job. First one's always the toughest one. And when you're ready, we're going to start with those deeper breaths, inhaling through the nose on the way up, down into the belly, exhaling out through the mouth on the way down. Go and follow your own breathing right here. Don't have to follow mine. Don't have to follow your neighbors. Listen to your body. What it needs. On that next exhale, we're gonna pull that right arm across, keeping that right side scapula pulled back and down. Holds the humerus in position, makes that stretch go into the back side of the shoulder versus into the back, which is what we're looking for. Through all these stretches, keep that slight, strong, braced posture, keeping those breaths, stretching a little further on each exhale. And when you're ready, go and release. Switch over to the opposite side. Your next exhale, go and release. Go and pull that first arm behind, grab that elbow, move into that tricep stretch. Here you put that hand that's in the back in between those scapula. Make sure you're not collapsed forward in this stretch, but really open up. Pull that scapula back and down. And when you're ready, go and release. Switch over to the opposite side. On that next exhale, go and release those arms. Bring the hands behind the back, interlock the fingers, shoulder blades back and down, chest up and open. I'm gonna roll that head and neck. Doesn't have to be extreme. Feel free to start with little circles. You can work a little bit bigger. Neck relaxes. If you find a spot that's really tight, feel free to keep it there and breathe through it. When you're ready, you're going to release. Inhale up and in. On that exhale, pushing those hips back, dropping down into that full floor squat. Working on trying to get those heels flat onto the ground. If you can't quite get them there, that's okay. You can lean a little bit forward onto the hands. Work yourself a little bit deeper into that stretch over time. Once you have those feet, those heels down, if you want more inner thigh stretch, elbows to the inside of the knees, palms together. And press those palms down, opening up those hips. Feel free to add a little bit of movement, a little bit of movement inside that hip. Always a good thing. When you're ready, we're going to release it down onto all fours. Dropping down into that puppy pose. Hips staying above the knees here. Arms extending out in front, dropping that chest down to the floor. And breathe. Relax that chest, that back. Armpits. As you're ready, you can slowly bring yourself up. You can turn sideways on your mat if you would like here, don't have to. We're going to take a wide knee stance and move into that full child's pose. Really opening up those hips, extending those arms forward. Here we're going to walk those hands over to the left, stretching that right side body. Remember to breathe. As you're ready, we're going to walk back to center with those arms. And over to that opposite side, stretching that opposite side body. go and walk those hands back to center. We're gonna come back up into all fours. We're gonna step up into a plank. Go and inhale that right ankle up. On the exhale, we're gonna drive that knee through into the pigeon stretch. If you're wanting more hip focus, you can bring that cross foot up a little further. Here, trying to keep those hips squared. We don't want to collapse over to the side. Go ahead and breathe. As that muscle relaxes, you can take yourself lower and lower into that stretch. Try not to round that low back. Try to keep that low back and those shoulder blades pulled back and down. That keeps the hips pressed into the floor. Breathe. Remember, every third or fourth inhale, breathe in a little bit deeper. That can help show you where you're holding that tension. On that exhale, let it melt away. When you're ready, you can slowly bring yourself up out of that stretch. You're gonna tuck that back toe, step back into plank, inhale that right ankle up. On the exhale, drive that left knee through, bringing that foot up and across. Dropping that knee behind it. Again, keeping those hips squared. As that muscle relaxes, you can slowly let yourself fall deeper into that stretch. Again, keep that low back pulled in as much as possible. Keep those shoulder blades pulled in. Push those hips into the floor. Every third or fourth inhale, inhale a little deeper. Find where you're holding that tension. Exhale it out. As you're ready, you can slowly bring yourself up out of that stretch. We're just going to roll over into a seated position from here. Feet are going to come out in front. We're going to pull that right ankle back to that right hip, putting that knee down onto the ground in front. And we're going to lean. That right knee is bent. You're leaning back onto that left elbow. Looking for that stretch through that quad. If you're able to, you can shift that weight back onto both. That's going to intensify that stretch. Breathe in through the nose, down into the belly, out to the mouth. Breathing is what tells our body it's in a safe position and that muscle's okay to relax. When you hold your breath, that sends a signal to your body that you're not in a safe position and the muscle will not relax. When you're ready, you can slowly bring yourself up out of that stretch, kick that leg forward, bring that opposite ankle back to that hip, falling down onto that opposite elbow. Remember to keep those breaths. I don't know about y'all, but I am tight after 2 weeks of not stretching. Holy cow. As you're ready, you can slowly bring yourself up out of that stretch, kick that leg forward, We're gonna roll over one last time into a plank and a downward dog. Just to finish off with a calf stretch. It's a weird transition to it, but we're gonna do it either way. Keep that low back pulled in, keep those hips high. That chest pressed towards those quads. Feel free to pedal out those feet if you want, or you can keep them stagnant. And when you're ready, go and walk those hands into those feet. Slowly roll up, and we're gonna finish with those breaths. Last 3 breaths, inhale up and in through the nose, down into that belly, exhale out through the mouth on the way down. Making each inhale a little bit deeper. Each exhale, blowing out a little further. Final thank you to ourselves and our body for being here today. Nice job, y'all. First class done. Give yourself a hand. If you're with us online, thanks so much for being here. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you just want updated of when class goes live for the day. If you're with us in person, thanks so much for being here with class next Wednesday, 5:15. And as always, don't forget your homework, good solid dinner, drink lots of water tonight, and at least hit 6 hours of sleep, right? That doesn't mean 6 hours in bed. That might mean like 7 if you don't sleep that well. So 6 hours of sleep. Thank you for being here. Have a nice night. We'll see you Wednesday.